All right. So, right. So, my finances. I have a finance guy to help me manage my stock fiduciary, right, from the government. I mandated this guy, and before him, I had my father managing all my finances because he's good with numbers. He's an engineer, so he's good with numbers, right? And I completely forgot the reason why I turned on the video at the moment. I had like three phone calls back to back. Um, the point was, he seems to tell me I don't know how to manage my money. Well, okay, right. But you, as the guy with big money, and to be my mentor, uh, his brilliant way of doing this was to give me $300 a week out of my own money, right? And tell me that's all you had, you're poor, make it work. Which is like just to irritate me or something and just go, like, man, this fucking blows. I need whatever, you know. So instead of teaching me the ways and how to build my wealth, build my money, and do all these other things, I just think he did a bunch of ludicrously stupid things with my money. At one point, I had $40,000 in my bank account, right? $40,000 that we wrestled back from this college, for one reason or another. And what happened there was, uh, Dad got the money back. The school was kind of iffy, and we got a lump sum, and that was it. So cool. Dad went at the bat for me. Well, then I had this car. It was a 2012 Ford Focus. It cost me about $18,000 out of my own pocket. We paid that off, um, over a period of time. I got a loan. I think grandma or someone in the family gave me like an extra 10 grand, so the car would eventually get paid off, but my credit score would go through the roof. That was the plan. Um, so the car is paid off, but my credit score is only like, you know, hanging around like 560, 600. So I was living in a house also that Dad gave me, and it wasn't mine. I was renting it from him, but all the bills I think were in his name, and I was there for about maybe 10 years, and I think that's kind of a scuzzy move. To waste all my money that I had saved up on this stupid fucking car that kept breaking down, the tune of about $4,000 times six times, seven times, um, from various shops and also at Ford. So it wasn't the complete records just at Ford. The car didn't break down twice, and it cost me 8,000. But it's broken down multiple times. The car got evaluated at about $300 recently, because it's one of the biggest pieces of shit cars Ford has ever made, ever. It's a 5 speed, but of course they're going to blame the consumer instead of doing the right thing, which is fixing the fucking car. Um, that's just mental, dude. That's just mental. Because it's an input with a human element to it, because humans create error in cars like that, somehow or another, I'm the guy to blame because of stop and go traffic? Okay, sure. Whatever floats your boat, dude. That's a lot of bad karma on your head, Dad, and it's a lot of bad karma on Ford. Just completely shit on the consumer is not the way to go. Then I didn't even know this was a thing. My electronic steering gear pump thing it went on this vehicle. The part on the car cost $1,500. 1500. Yeah. So I'm selling the car because next month it's going to be something else, right? It's going to be $3,000 next month. So I'm going to sell it for $1,000, I think, because they were impressed that my car is still up and running at this point. So I think they're going to kind of mercy me and give me, hopefully, maybe $2,000 for my car if I get lucky, right? And it's just shot. It's shot. I need a new car. But the main reason why I'm making this video is because I'm, instead of my father telling me the ways and how to manage money, how to make it grow, how to invest it in the stock market, and all this other kind of stuff, he just let it sit in the bank. This is why I would just compare him to Smaug. Smaug the dragon, and I'm just the hobbit in there, looking for the ring or whatever, and there's just this mountain of gold under the hills, right? Under the mountains. And Dad is sitting on my mountain of gold. You remember the story from the Bible that says that the wealthy man gave to his servants the same amount of money? And one guy came back and he gave him back like a little bit of money. The other guy gave him back a lot of money. And then like the last guy, all he did was he buried it in a hole. And gave him back the same money that he had from before, right? I kind of feel like Dad was the last guy. You put the money in a bank and they give you what, like 1%, 2% interest? I mean, that's something, but it's not anything. And then the fact that my dad was like, he's the finance guy, right? So the bills were supposed to be in my name. I think they were in his, which I think is illegal. You can't just boost your credit score like that, dude. That's not how you do that. And then same thing with the money situation. Instead of just selling the car, he wasted all of my money on car repairs. And then he's going to come back and clap back at me and say, well, but you spent the money on upgrades. Yeah, to the house I was living in? You fucking dick. You mean the upgrades that you were supposed to do? So, Dad, I need an electrician in here because we have to hook up the TVs right. We need different electrical ports in here. And I'm paying for all of the appliances in the house. They're all brand new. I'm paying them for them out of my own pocket. Can you fix the floors? And like, there seems to be a plumbing issue in this house. I think it's so bad that it's gonna be possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars now to fix this house because you didn't listen to me when I said it. 7 years ago at this point. So, I mean, I don't know. Why do people just not listen to me when I'm talking? And why would a guy who's begging me not to buy this car, Steve, don't buy this car. Why, after he got it fixed the first time, why wouldn't he just sell it? I mean, I wasn't emotionally attached to that car, but he convinced me that it was cheaper. He conned me out of my money and told me that it was less expensive to keep fixing up the car to the tune of $4,000 numerous times until my entire bank account was drained of all of the money that I had, or at least 20 grand, of the 40. You ever, like, what's the other story you'd be able to say here is like, Ooh, it just slipped out of my head. He would tell me that it's less expensive to fix up this car than it is to buy a whole brand new car. Well, now, was there a plan in the works to like eventually get me a new car? Or, you know, like what was the point? Were you putting me on a career path so that I can get a new car? Were you hooking me up with your buddies and like a nice job where like, you know, it wasn't too stressful, but I'm making, you know, like $20 an hour and I'm just, you know, scanning papers for a living at Ford, like Brett did when he first started. Anything at all? No, nothing. Just nothing for me, right? So I just find it kind of infuriating that after I decide to move, when I get out of the house. Now, mind you, I'm Dad's first son. I'm his first kid ever he's ever had, ever. Right. And this man will insult me over the way in how I cut grass with his busted down, old, worn out lawnmower. The backyard was like an acre of lawn, almost, you know, about 1,000 feet long. Maybe I'm lying there. You know, it was a lot of grass for a guy who only weighed like 100 pounds soaking wet. Um, and, And then, what else there? I don't know. Was there a better plan for me? Was it that I was supposed to keep holding out to hope that he was just going to gift me a car one year? Oh, thanks. Thanks for fucking up my finances and my car, dude. You know. But I'll buy Amanda a Toyota Corolla, like fucking out of nowhere. You know. She paid for that herself. Oh, okay. Right. Nah, man. I'm sorry. But things like this just upset me about the relationship between me and my father and Karen. I only had one bike. I had one bike for like the 4 years I was in high school, right? And, you know, uh, I was not strong enough to lift up these doors that were like 600 pounds. That was the small one. Right. And I just decided, fuck it, I'm not lifting this damn thing. And so instead of having the door open on the side of the place, we have to lift the giant doors on the side. Or on the front of the building. There was a door on the side, but unless I broke the window and let myself in the regular way, there was no key to get in there, right? So you know, I would gladly have done that, but to make a 100-pound kid lift a 600-pound door is just wild to me. It was one of those big heavy doors where it would guillotine you if it came down on you. The other door weighed twice as much. They're big, heavy, old doors. It used to be a fruit stand, and then there's two more doors like that on the back of the 2-story building that is my dad's garage that he uses for none of his cars. Why does he have it? I don't know. Weird. I mean, if I was him and I was a mechanic engineer guy, I'd have hydraulic lifts in there and like a repair shop for like putting out 1,000 horsepower muscle cars all the time with my kids. But whatever, you know, opportunity wasted. Yeah. So as far as that goes, um, there was something just doesn't sit right with me with this whole thing of trying to figure out what the reason for being of just straight up not teaching me finances and then acting like somehow or another, it was my fault that I ended up in this situation that I was in, which really wasn't that bad. Um, you know, just every mistake that I've made, just being on an accident or I was just careless for a month, um, he tries to hold it over me. He always holds it against me. He remembers, like he has grudges against me, right? Grudges against me for uh, just being depressed, and I just don't want to pay rent for like 1 month or something, and we were gonna move out anyway, so I spent like an extra few $100 on like things I wanted for me, you know, and my dad's telling me about like, you know, oh well, I paid your rent that one time. Oh, okay. I mean, like you didn't have to because we had more than enough money, but for the sake of moving, I think you've definitely made your money back on, you know, the rent money from Steve. You know, fucking dick. What a dick. So, yeah, I think it's gonna have to come down to, I don't know. I don't really want to say what I think my next move is gonna be, but uh, I think I'm eventually gonna have to sue my father for mishandling my money as my fiduciary. I think that's how it's gonna go down. I just want my money back, dude. I should have $100,000 saved up in the bank, at least, at this point. Like, you know, I didn't mismanage shit. You know? It's almost like he put it against me. He rigged the game so it would be difficult to get out of his grasp. And now I'm here. I'm in a much better place with better friends, better opportunities, none of the manipulative behavior and other such things. So I think finally I'm good. You know, huh. I just have a lot of emotional abuse I have to work through now, but I don't think I'm going to be talking to my parents, either of them, my mother and my father, for a very long time. Yeah, it's too much self doubt, too many negative, too much negative self talk, uh, you know, other stuff like that. You know, um, all under the guise of we're helping you. We don't want you to be alone. Um, all I wanted was the best for you, and these other kind of like gaslighty type of terms. You know, well, if you wanted me to grow as a person, then you wouldn't leave me isolated in a house by doing something nice for me, by giving me a house and then going, oh, well, you can just sit there and rot. What do you do in that situation, man? What do you do? Well, you know, see, and then this is a weird thing to say at Christmas, right? I told my dad, look, I'm done. I'm not coming to Christmas. I'm not going to Thanksgiving. All you do is just ignore me like I'm some kind of trophy. I'm just there to show off that we're, you know, a functional family. Only on the holidays. And then I asked Dad last year, you know, December 25th, right? Don't get me any presents. I don't want any presents. I have everything I need. You know, every time I try to ask you for something, you just give me like mop supplies. So, you know, thanks. I don't need the disrespect. And my mom gives me like bowls from Marshalls with like $4 worth of ramen noodles because I like those. Why would your dad give you toothpaste and cleaning supplies for a house? Like I'm some kind of fucking house bitch. Hey dad, I love you. Here's some new sneakers. I got you some Converse because, Converse is great. I got you some boots. They're waterproof. I wanted these, but I got them for you instead. What do I get? Toothpaste and cleaning supplies. What about all the other nice things he gave you? Yeah, bunch of stuff I didn't want. I mean, like the computer case was cool. But then he's complaining to me all the time about you need different hobbies and computers are too expensive for you. You can't afford computers. Well, I can afford computers, but they have to stop breaking the fuck down. That's, it's not supposed to happen that frequently. You know. Just a ton of missteps in his place, and I just think that's kind of how that has to go. Um, just grievous misuse of my funds and no way in how to really show me how to manage the money. There was no back and forth. Do you want to do this or you want to do that? Well, I tried this and I took away your debit card and I took away your car and I took away your credit card and da da da. And so now you can only do this amount of stuff. Cool. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for making it so that, I really feel like getting up in the morning and cleaning the house or doing anything else, man. What's the point of getting up if you're just going to give me only, $300 a week out of my own money? God, I'm so glad I'm no longer around him because he acts nice in front of people and then turns around and says shit like that, like calling me psycho boy or pea-brained. Like, dude, look, I went in the military and finally applied myself, right? And when I finally did apply myself, I got straight A's across the board in everything I did. I got 8 college credits. I never thought I would do that in my lifetime, And I think it's illegal to put someone else's bills in your name, like without their permission. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to fix my credit score. I have to get a new car. I got to sell the old one. I have to start going to school. I have to practice. I have to start working out. I have the checklist, but when your support system is full of a bunch of people that are bullies and just isolate you, if they don't see your shine, then there's no reason to be hanging out with these people. My brother doesn't want to talk to me, but he hangs out with all his buddies. Every time I go over to my mom's house, she's just dysfunctional. There's just garbage everywhere. Supplies. Every time I come over, there's something new. It looks like you're living in a submarine, She every place she lands, it's just chaos. It's just chaos everywhere. My dad is verbally abusive. Just really makes you hurt inside. And me as a guy, like I'm supposed to like toughen up and take that, but nah, man, you got me sideways, dude. I don't care. I'm not gonna hold out for the rest of my life for him to keep doing the wrong thing. so I can get some kind of inheritance, you know, at the end of my life, or my life, end of his life, because I'm entitled to it because he was an asshole, you know, for the last, you know, 80 years that he was alive or something, right? You know, it's great. I guess I hope he keeps me in the will, but, you know, I mean, karma's gonna get you, you fucker. Karma's gonna get you, dude. You know, you don't treat people like that at all. Yeah. And then he's gonna go on his damage control campaign. I never said that. Aren't I a nice person? No, that never happened. He does the same thing every, you know, for 30 years, man. This guy was never a good mentor. He had no idea how to make anything so it wasn't an insult. It wasn't a joke. And I've been nothing but polite to this guy, my own father, for like 30 years. You know, he wasn't polite to mom. He wasn't polite to me and dad. He wasn't polite to my friends. He scared all my friends, you know. And then every time I try to talk to him about anything, he turns the mirror back around on me and makes it an introspective game of why I'm wrong for having the opinions that I have. You're a hypocrite because you don't work, but you collect welfare. No, I don't collect welfare, dude. It's retirement pay. It's disability pay. It's completely different. Are you doing anything to help me get to a point where I don't need disability pay anymore? Are you doing anything like that? No? All right. Are you paying my bills? No? You never have. So fuck off, dude. Did you pay for any of the things that I enjoy having today? Any of the video games I had when I was working at Kroger? Any of the game systems? Any of the clothes I ever had? Any of that stuff? Did you buy any of it? No? You didn't. You didn't. I bought the PS3. I bought my 360. You gave me a TV at like Christmas. Thanks. I bought my sound system. I bought my PS2 Slim. I bought my GameCube. My N64. All my handheld systems. My computers. My 3D printer. You gave me a filament printer. Which, for the most part, printing what I need to print. Filament printers just don't do it. They don't cut the mustard. It's off by a little bit. Thank you, though, because now I'm going to start my career in CAD. Very soon. But it's the same kind of thing with the computer I had when we were a little kid. It was this streamlined, it was a Blackhawk or something. It was a really sleek-looking computer. It was all stainless steel. And it had this big foot underneath it, so it looked like it was levitating. And it was like in the big shape of like an hourglass on the front and back of it. And it had these giant metal side panels. It was really, really cool. And it had this ceramic cooler inside. Allegedly, it made it, you know, nicer for doing what it was. And the whole inside looked really sleek. It was a really cool looking computer. And, you know, it was a nice gaming setup. Dad said you have 6 months to use this and build a game, or else I'm taking it away from you. I'm going to put passwords and permissions on it and other things like that. Man, and at some point I was like, man, fuck this guy. You know? Like, so he would give me the tools, and then he would never give me any mentors or trainers or anything like that to understand how to make this kind of stuff into a reality. Man, I just know that I'm not going to coddle my kids necessarily, but I'm definitely going to give them all the tools in the toolbox, Dad. He would always say that. He would always say that whole thing of, I need, you got to keep putting more tools in your toolbox. Cool. It's great. Excellent. Well, fucking the handle in my toolbox is broken and the lock is rusted out. So, I mean, are you going to help me? Are you going to help me fix that? What? Are you going to help me fix that? Are you going to help me figure out how to do all the things to make it so the bottom isn't getting rusted out of mine and all my tools are falling out? And, you know, like WD-40 on the hinges so it doesn't squeak, and repaint it, know how to sandblast it and make it nicer. No, like, I have to learn all that stuff from my own head to figure it out. And that's fine. But man, when you're an introverted autistic guy with a total of like maybe 2 friends, you know, how are you gonna figure out what the, hi buddy, what's the right way of going about those kinds of things, right? I guess the analogy would be, you know, you can try to take on everyone, but the problem is that if you try taking on everyone else has a team. You can't do everything else by yourself, right? So if you want to make those dreams, excuse me, those dreams a reality, then you need to, hi Chop Suey, you need to be able to have a team behind you. I had no team. You know, there was no team for Steve. It was just me. Until now, I had absolutely no one. And all the people that I knew were smart, creative people, you know, smart, creative people, my dad liked none of them because they didn't fit the mold for him. Why would you hold a grudge against your son's best friend because he's a Native American guy who's also Korean, who's wickedly smart? Why would you ever hate that guy? You know? Why? I guess I know I'm not the favored son of the two of us, right? Because Brett goes out and Brett likes being social. Brett likes kissing ass for the sake of dad's validation, right? Not me. I don't play by those rules, dude. I don't care anymore. Get out of my way. Let me by. I don't care anymore. I don't care what you say. That's a good song. It's a good song. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Play by the same rules you play. Yet you call your friends. It seems to me that's a means to an end. I don't care anymore. Boo-doo-doo. I'm not really singing. I just like the lyrics. I'm not trying to belt it out. You know. We don't play by the same rules anyway. Yeah. So I think I'm just done with these isolating, manipulative people in my life. I can't do it anymore. You know, if you're gonna give me a lesson on money management, that's the other thing I wanted to say was, right, how come all the money you always have, you always blow it all? Blow it all? Blow it all? It's a funny thing to say. blowing it all would be spending my money on hookers and cocaine. Thank God I've never done that in my entire life. Other people in the family, maybe. But we got to keep that one a secret. Especially from Steve. Just more lies upon more lies. You know. And then, as far as it goes for that, you know the term when it says, like, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, right? Okay, agreed. But at the same time, you know, it's like survival versus being prosperous. So when other people had right mentors and right people to learn how to be prosperous, right? I was at home alone, isolated, playing video games because I was so sad. Because I wasn't making any friends. No girls were talking to me. I didn't get a growth spurt. I was skinny. You know, all the things that I didn't want for me to happen in my life, you know, happened. And it wasn't supposed to work out like that. Buddy, hi. So, you know, like when you give a poor person money, I guess like me, goofy cat. You gotta get your face out of the screen, buddy. Is that, you know, they're trying to pay the bills. They're trying to get the rent paid. They're trying to put food on the table. You know, other things like that. It's not that I'm stupid, right? It's just that, like, the priorities are in a different spot. So when I do get a little bit of extra money and you're saying, oh, you're blowing all your money on, like, what? Like a video game console to keep myself occupied because of the existential horrors that is my life existence. Buying a couple of expensive Warhammer figures and painting things, nice brushes, as a little form of therapy for myself. Magic cards, because I like the strategy behind it. That upsets me. I wasn't even allowed to really indulge into any of the things that are my passions the entire time I was growing up. There was none of it. I never got a chance to really paint, to draw, to do Warhammer. Very rarely, when I had a little extra money. Now I have all the time in the world, and I don't want to do any of it right now. I'm kind of burned out, you know? So, I don't know. When you give $10,000 to a poor guy, right, he's going to, like, fix up his car, pay the rent, you know, do the bills, maybe get some beer. You know, like, guy still has priorities, right? But it's not the same thing as you give $10,000 to a guy who's already got $10,000 and a nice car and this, that, and the other thing. And my dad would say, oh, well, but you already are the rich guy. You already have the money. You know, da-da-da. You're like, okay. I mean, bet. So, like, you know, now I have, like, what, $50 to my name until next payday, which is on Monday. You know, rent's going to get paid, bills are going to get paid. I think I have enough to get a new car, which means, you know, I got to take on some debt for this car. I got to pay off some old loans and debts I have to pay. I got to get my credit score back up, like I said before, right? And I'm hoping the universe is going to work with me, and all the things that I like, that I believe in, I hope I can manifest them so that I can live a nice, happy life and have fulfillment in my life. And Dad, look, cleaning the dishes isn't cleaning a house isn't fulfillment. Having a routine having a routine is fulfillment. But making your bed and OCD cleaning a house isn't fulfillment. You know? I need to find purpose in my days. Ooh, itchy. Why is my throat itchy? It's weird. But I'm constantly concerned about my health. I'm trying to keep myself awake with caffeine. My allergies are bugging me. I don't know if my liver's shot. I'm 35, and I hope that I make it to 90. And I hope most of the time I'm in very good health. So, still trying to find a girlfriend. I'm still trying to find my pact of friends. And I want to manifest the things that I'm looking to manifest, I had a dream the other day, about a week ago, and maybe some change, where I got a scratch-off ticket, and the scratch-off ticket was for $11 million. Now, I'm a guy who doesn't ever dream. I had some ex tell me, you dream every night, but you just don't remember the dreams. Okay, listen, bitch. If I don't remember the dreams, because I'm not sleeping right, because I'm not getting into my deep sleep, because I'm so stressed out, I'm waking up every day and my battery's only at 50%, When I finally do manifest a dream, I finally have a dream because I slept right. Positive things are on the other side. $11 million? $11 million and a scratch off. You know what I did? I was wearing my black jacket, and it's got this big ass pocket in the front, and I just unzipped it, and I was like, holy shit. Looked at it. Bottom left corner, $11 million. Just shoved it in my pocket, zipped it up. I woke up the next day. I thought the dream was so real. I thought I went out at night and I got this ticket. And I looked in my pocket in the jacket and I went, fuck, it was just a dream. Fuck. I'm never a guy who buys lottery tickets. Maybe I should. I don't know, man. I feel like I deserve a lot more in my life right now than what I currently am. But I feel that it's kind of not my fault, if that makes any sense. I can fix the problem from here because I'm finally away from my parents, my narcissistic mother, dysfunctional, control freak father, mom, just dysfunctional through and through, ADHD. preoccupied. Her mind is just going 100 different things in directions she doesn't need to know. She's like a squirrel. My mom is like a squirrel. She's got this project and this project and this project and that one and this one and that one. And she's doing them all at the same time. And she takes the nut and she buries it, you know, in the ground somewhere, stuffs it in a tree, and comes back and looks for it. And there's nothing there. I never wanted to be a busybody like my mother was. I don't mind doing things. But at some point, you know, like, you gotta just stop, you know? She's done so much in her life for fucking absolutely no reason. You know, and, like, knock on wood, right? But, I mean, I don't want to run around my entire life doing things for the sake of doing things to feel like I accomplished something that day, you know? It's just something I don't want to do. I don't know how to get rid of the self-doubt, but man, I could really use a good influx of money right now, man. $10,000, $50,000, anything would be like, oh, it's such a relief. I can finally breathe. You know? You know what I'm gonna do with that check from Doge? The Doge dividend checks? I'm gonna throw it right in the fucking stock market. I already know what to do. I know what to do. Every time I get a little bit of extra money, just invest it. I'm 35. You know, it's not about getting rich, right? If you're not going to make yourself rich, no one's going to make you rich, right? And the forced multiplier for getting rich is like fucking throw every last penny you got at the fucking stock market. You know, if you want to escape the matrix, as they would say, throw all your fucking money at the stock market. Live in a house with like 10 incomes, you know, and that's your team. And just everyone throw money in the stock market. Everyone. Keep your costs low. You know? And just keep tossing money in the stock market, man. Throw it into your ETFs. You know, and it's not a get rich quick scheme. Don't throw it in there for a month. Don't throw it in there for a week. I'm not a financial advisor. You know? I know enough. I'm not looking for any handouts from anyone, but don't call me a hypocrite because I'm not working at the moment. To call me because I'm collecting disability pay because I got fucked up in the military. To tell me that somehow or another that's a form of welfare. Fuck you. You know? I didn't want life to be like this. So why would my own brother complain about Well, he just gets to live his life and all his bills are paid for. So he should be like really happy. Like, well, yeah, but look, I'm not getting any fulfillment out of my life. You know? I'm glad that I'm not homeless. I'm glad that I'm not on the streets. I'm not fucked up. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not drinking. Nothing like that. I'm glad that, you know, God has finally given me the willpower and discipline to get over all that stuff. All the all the beer, all the alcohol. Thank you. God, thank you so much. Let me remain strong. But it's crazy for me that my brother will tell his friends that my brother is a very strong conservative. But haha, he doesn't work. I work when I can, dude. Yeah. But to go after the veterans for veteran benefits, I've had two people in my life that are going after me. Three going after me because of my friend Zach, staunchly liberal, and he's trying to compare that he was on food stamps to me being on disability pay. Look, when you decide to go to war, whether you got shot at in the military or not, you went through all the training, you went through all the bullshit, all the hard times, all that to get out and find out, you know, wasn't for you. Even guys that stay in for 40 years, get out, they probably get a disability check. Like, of all the things that we should be spending money on in the budget, like, top priority should be taking care of the fucking veterans. Were you guys nuts? Like, Okay, so what would be the other way on how you would be able to get around this, right? So the veterans are only about maybe 2% of the population. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the population is upset that they never became part of that class of people, the veterans. Well, I mean, I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the biggest guy. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the best looking dude. But you know what? This Doctor Strange looking motherfucker came out the other side a Marine. I will forever be a devil dog. So, I'm not too sure what the fuck their problem is. But, whatever. I know. I don't want to toot my own horn. But, you kind of get what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess rant over for now. I could go on longer. But, yeah. So, if someone comes at you sideways, trying to talk to you about financial responsibility when they're the one in charge of your finances, I don't know, man. Just doesn't sit right with me. That's all I know.